We're live. Okay, good.
Buenos dias. Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah, we
Are
are.
we alive? I mean, Jesus. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition to Real Estate Unwrapped. I'm looking forward to this one as well. I mean,
Yeah.
folks, it is getting cold. It is getting hot. It is good. It's getting cold. It's getting hot. I mean, I don't even know what kind of weather to wear anymore. I'm wearing a t-shirt today because I'm actually in my office, but at the same time, I'm sure everyone is having a hot, great week so far. So tell me, guys, tell me, how was your week so far? Gigi, start it off.
My week, super busy. Actually, I feel like I've been training the whole week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, that was kind of intense, but good. Good meetings with new people. Fantastic.
You guys are training all week, man. I saw that.
I mean, I had one of our, our East Meadow manager took a little vacation, well deserved, and we didn't want to do a break in our training schedule. I was like, I got your back, man. So we did it. That was cool, right? We got a very good attendance, people from different offices, sharing the love. That's it.
So,
there you go.
Funny enough, I don't know what happened, but earlier this week, all right, like I woke up and I just out of nowhere started like having a weird, funny voice. All right, my friends were telling me through puberty, but
late puberty, late, yeah.
Extremely late.
Yo, but no, but
it's allergies. I think it is, right?
I think so. I don't know, man. Like the temperature went from like a warm temperature, then it got cold. Yeah. Then like my throat just started like crackling. It still is. Yeah. I'm drinking lemon water and ginger.
Yeah, I do that too because my eyes are watery right now, and I don't know. I feel good. Yeah.
But I'm trying to clear out my throat. I'm trying to talk. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It sounds like it got better. It sounds like it got better.
Now that you said it, it sounds like you're struggling a little bit, but I hear what you're saying though. It's
so
all good though.
If you hear me hit the high notes.
Okay, I am actually texting with Victor. He's telling me he's in the chat room, but he got suspended. Oh, Facebook suspended him. Oh,
he's in Facebook jail. He's in Facebook jail. Oh no!
We're gonna call people presents.
We have to do a GoFundMe now.
I'm gonna ask him. Should we?
I know we're live on.
He says he's a repeat offender.
He's a repeat offender.
What you gonna say?
Yeah.
I know we're going live on what? Facebook, YouTube.
Yes.
Israel's Facebook, Israel's YouTube, Gigi's YouTube.
LinkedIn.
You know what I decided to do? I literally right now I don't know how to connect it. I said shits and giggles. Let me connect my Instagram. So I'm live on Instagram right now.
Beautiful.
Does it work? Are you live on Instagram?
I am. I'm live right now. It's not working.
How did you?
StreamYard, but it's
okay.
Setting up my phone.
I didn't get a notification though. That's interesting.
I got no notification. You went live, love. What's up?
It's all good.
That's because you guys don't have your notifications on when I go on.
No, I do. You just I don't even see it.
I got two cameras here.
Oh, that's why.
People
but this is great.
Jumping out. You gotta grasp the audience.
I know. So let's get started. Victor, go to YouTube. Either my YouTube or whose other YouTube.
You can grab anybody. You can grab my YouTube.
Israel. Yeah. I'm also on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn. I'm in there. Just grab anything. And if you want to go on camera, if your camera ready, I'll give you a link and you can get into our green room. You want a link to YouTube, Victor? You want a link to our studio? All right, text me. All right, so today we're going to talk. Let's clear the air on contacts, leads, database, lead lists. I'm hearing a lot of things from agents because everybody's talking about work with the people you know and that know you, your sphere, and so on and so forth. And
I think it's coming more from the sense of what we're going through right now, right? I I think this idea, this topic came up more in the sense of what we're experiencing right now. So if
Yeah.
you guys are in the real estate field, all right, if you're out there hustling, grinding, showing properties, interacting with sellers, buyers, share your experiences. That's all I would say. Share your experiences in the comment box. That way we can have a natural discussion about what's going on. But all in all, that's the way this topic actually came up, right? There's things that we're going through right now. There's changes. Last week, if you guys tuned in, we were talking about the whole change in how the banks going under is affecting real estate. You know what I mean? So right now, what we're discussing more in the sense of, look, I've spoken to some people and they say, hey, look, it's dry out there, man. Like it's kind of slow. And you know, it's interesting because we've already entered the spring market. Real estate's market happens right before the season happens. That's when I believe it starts. So it doesn't wait necessarily for spring to be here to then say, hey, we're in the spring market. Like it just automatically starts happening weeks before. So that was the conversation. That's kind of how this topic came up. We were thinking more in the sense of what's going on out there and how can we create more business? How can we create funnels to now drive these leads into our funnels so that way we stay consistent and stay busy, because real estate can be up and down. There can be moments in time where we're working and we're killing it. And there's moments in time where we slow down, right? We get complacent. Right, closings are taking place, and it's like, oh man, I didn't even show a property this month, but I have 4 closings, right?
I know, and then you're not generating business. I know. We want to avoid those peaks and valleys. You know, like let's focus on getting a steady stream of business, like continuously for years. And this is where a lot of misconceptions and confusion are just surfacing. Number one, because I feel like a lot of agents don't have enough support from mentorship. I'm saying mentorship at large. It's like you don't have to hire a mentor or a coach or anything. It's like not having enough guidance on the little day-to-day little things, like those little steps you need to take. So when we're all talking about this big picture, it gets super confusing, if you guys agree with me.
No, I do.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very important that we should do that. So
yeah, you know, I mean, there is always a saying like, how do you eat an elephant? Like one bite at a time. So yeah, the elephant is huge, but you know, one bite at a time, you just chuck it away. So let's talk about that. So, you know, like, let's talk about, let's get business from your sphere. My nose is running, my eyes are crying.
I heard that saying before, and I'm not going to lie. Somebody said, why would I want to eat an elephant? It's a quote, man. It's a quote. Just understand the quote.
Victor's in. Yeah, he's in through YouTube. Yeah, there you go. So guys, all right, so let's clear out the confusion. And I think Israel has the best definition for a contact. Let's go with this. A contact, what it is, what do we do with it?
So what's the title again, real quick, before we start, just so you guys are aware?
Contact to appointment to $sign.
Contact
and
$signs to $signs.
Yeah. How to convert them? I mean, where to get them, first of all, and what are contacts? So contacts, honestly, are what? They're every breathing, living human beings that are out there. They're just saying hello to you. Those are the ones that are just pretty much, you wave hello to them. That's a contact. Somebody you just go into a deli or you go to a shop or a store and you say hello to them. That's a contact. That's a person that's willing to have a conversation with you. Even the person that if you make a phone call during your prospect and they curse you out, that's a contact. All right. Every breathing, living human being that's out there is a contact. All right. So now, how do you get to the point of saying what's a contact and what's a lead? Is the lead is one that person is raising their hands and saying, I'm interested about real estate. That is how you do it. You know, honestly, once you get to that conversation of how's the market, what is my home, how much is my home worth, what are buyers buying right now, so on and so forth. These are things that now leads are showing that they're interested in what the market and what the real estate market is doing right now. So, okay. Anyways, so these are things that we can. Yeah.
Your boy Victor needs to go do comedy.
I put it.
Yeah.
I converted to contact in 2 days.
Good thing this isn't daytime TV.
Very true.
But all right, so look, outside of those contacts that you're making, right, that Israel stated, another point is if you're out there, and I'll gear this more to the new agents, right? If you're out there not knowing where to pull business from, one of the first steps that I took, all right, not having any listings, was at that time I reached out to Gigi, I reached out to Israel. Anybody who had listings, I would reach out to them and say, hey, can I run an open house for you? Why? For me, it was much easier to talk to people face to face than it was to get on a phone to call. Okay. I know some of us are struggling with that. And I know some of us look at a cold calling list and we start to shake. We start to have like a conniption.
Yeah.
All right.
Convulsions too. Yeah.
So it's almost like, and it's happened across the board, right? I've been in the office and some people, they're just shaking. They're holding that list. They don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? So, and it's fine. Everybody has their own journey to go on. But the idea really comes down to is this. It's what is it that you want, right? What is it that you're trying to get? And you got to meet these individuals who are out there hustling, grinding, and you want to copy what they're doing to then ultimately have what they have. So here it is. Go out there. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. I've always said it. Open houses is a platform for you to generate leads, for you to contact people who are now actively looking in the market. All right. That's the whole so for me, my experience in the beginning was that I didn't care whose open house it was. I didn't care if it was a co-op, a house. I didn't care if it was a rental. I didn't care. The purpose of it was for me to generate leads, for me to get out there, for me to create exposure, for me to let people know that I'm out there, I'm in real estate, and I'm doing what I got to do to make it happen. So that's one format that we can use. All right.
And then, but there is build also contacts, like starting with your COI, which is always scary and people don't understand. I can give you example this week of agents I'm working with where finally got out of their funks and talking to their sphere, talking to the former place of work. You don't have to make phone calls. You can go have a glass of wine with a former client and just shoot the breeze. You can be having a holiday, a weekend, a holiday weekend in California and meet some family members and discuss your real estate adventures. Out of that came out like listing opportunities to those new agents that were not doing anything in the last 6 months or so little, which was like so frustrating to them, where you have like 3-4 deals of having to dig those Zillow leads that were given to you, and it's just like working them to death, and it's not even sure, and some of them don't even, so it's like you have this pool of people, that sphere of influence, that circle of influence, and people don't understand what it is for, what it means, and how you can utilize it. Once you do this, once you know that people in your circle are glad to know you're in real estate and will be happy to refer to your business of other people they know, and you don't have to wait until you're an expert in real estate to start getting referrals. Once you know that, and once you understand that your circle of the people that you know you and want to refer you business is much bigger than it actually is, you don't have to go through your phone contacts. I'm talking to this agent who's about to join us, and again, spending 6 months like a little guppy fish, like, let me wait for somebody to give me some rental leads, and I'll do I'll get quarter of the commission. I'm like, what? And I'm like talking to the person. It's like trying to see where that person is in life and what she's about, and a little bit about her. Coming to discover that she has family members that are landlords with several properties in the neighborhood. She happens to her mother still live in the neighborhood. She wants to farm. Like we talked about the notion of farming, having friends of her mother in there. She's part of groups very involved in her school, part of groups on Facebook of certain mothers, and I'm like, here's your pool of business. Just
100%.
go dig in it.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that it's not like, it gets very confusing. So if you can have a mentor or somebody you can talk to on a daily basis that's going to help you like open up your mind, I think it's the best solution for you to just like inch into this business and see the immense opportunities you have every day, and capitalize on that. And you don't have to sound like so thirsty, like give me business.
Right.
It just comes in naturally, you know?
Yeah, when it comes to context, and I know, Ed, you're about to say something else in a second,
please.
but I just want to just jump in on the fact of farming is most important part as well. When you're farming your area, when you're actually in your area, you're living in this area for now a few years, you're now a renter, you're a real estate agent, you should be able to now say to your neighbors, hey, listen, I'm a real estate agent, and if you can't really say it, then create a flyer and say it for you. Let that flyer talk about that for you. There's a lot of platforms you can use like Canva where you can actually create flyers of introducing yourself. Just like Jay-Z says, let me reintroduce myself, okay?
Yeah.
Become that person. Become the person where you're actually saying, hey, I am here to help you out.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you think about it, whether you live in a house, and I said this before, whether you live in a house, if you go 10 houses right, 10 houses left, that's already, 20 in front of you. And you do 20 houses across, that's 40 houses that you can tell these people, hey, listen, I'm a real estate agent. Using the same format that what Ed just said, as far as being the person in person, instead of having strangers come into the house that you're actually doing an open house to, go up to them and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent. You're afraid of doing that too? That's fine. Some of the brokerages, like ours, we actually have a pin. You put a pin on, all of a sudden they know that you're.
Everybody has a pin. Everybody respectable
so
real estate large brokerage franchise has a pin. Wear that pin. I mean, I don't have it today because I'm going to go Zumba. Maybe I should go and bring my pin back to Zumba.
You should.
But
why not?
I should. I just don't want to talk about real estate during Zumba, but I should.
I don't blame you. You have shirts that can help you.
Yeah.
For those that don't have the voice, those who are not active in the public settings, those are not, want to use social media a lot more, then do that, right? Create. What we're trying to get to you for you to understand is this. You need to have an abundance amount of context before you have some kind of lead.
Yeah.
You need to have an abundance amount of context before you have some kind of leads. And if you think about it this way, I use the format or the ideology of sand to a rock or boulder. You need to have a lot of sand build up before you start creating a pebble, a rock, and a boulder. Just think of it that way. All right. So that's
and
really
it shouldn't feel like a Herculean. I call that the what is it? Les travaux d'Hercule, the Herculean job, like it's like something so big. It shouldn't feel like this. I think it should be like incorporate a lot of talking about your business in your daily activities. I've been seeing agents who part of, former jobs, whatever, professional settings, even if it's, not professionals or more something like a blue collar type of work, same thing. You have all those pools of people that are homeowners looking to buy and sell. It doesn't matter. Anywhere in America, somebody is going to want to or own or buy at some point. Like average American owns in their lifetimes about 3 homes, I believe. Buy and sell, and all this and that. So people out there buying and selling, like people like there are so many circles in your life you have access to and pool all those resources. They just need to know you're there, and then like we did a training. I'm going to redo it in my Jackson Heights office on lead generation, and that concept of law of accumulation. Same thing, little steps. Whatever you do, everything you do counts. Everything you don't do also counts. So we just have to be very aware. It's called karma. Right? So it's like you have so many different funnels to getting business. If you're a little bit more curious, like even for us, like service professionals, or subcontractors, like, you know, like attorneys, whether they're real estate attorneys or not. Divorce attorneys are fantastic pool of things here. Even immigration's attorney, guess what? They go around people all day long. Injury attorneys, you know, like financial advisors. I would go on, other contractors, and I mean, I'll go on and on and on. Even the lady at the bank that's at the desk, you know, the bank teller.
Yeah.
You know how many people she goes across?
So
You know how many
that's
conversations she's gonna have?
so we're blessing everyone with a lot of great ideas as to what they need to do, right? So obviously not become the secret agent, but obviously become that person where you are the source of resource. You are the person that they should really reach out to. You're the person that you should be magnetizing them to come to you so that you can talk to them. But you obviously just need to start with one thing: 2 letter word or 5 letter word, hi or hello, you know, and start that way of building that contact, build your contacts in that sense. There's so many different ways to do so, and we have so much more to talk about. But one thing's for sure, once you have that contact and they do turn to leads. I mean, guys, what do you guys think would be the best way to actually make sure you're turning that into an appointment? I think that's the next thing we should really talk about right away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
But then
we
again, you know, like turning into an appointment is, a lot of people have been confusing the list of leads in general versus their database of business.
So I think to kind of put it in simpler terms, I would say at this point is you make the contacts, right? Whichever way you make them, period, right? Doesn't matter how you make them. You're interacting with somebody. The conversation occurs where real estate is involved. They're asking about real estate. You tell them you're in real estate. Look, it happened to me the other day in the gym, right? Went to the gym, was talking to this guy, known him for some time, I asked him for some tips on specific workouts that I saw him doing that to me looked unorthodox. So that's how we started having that conversation. Last time we spoke, same thing. Hey, this, that. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, look, I come in the morning. Guess what? Oh, you work during the day? I do, but I have control of my own schedule. Oh, wow. What do you do? I'm in real estate. Get out of here. I'm actually looking for a house over here in this area. Naturally, it came up. I didn't think that I should talk to this individual about real estate. It was just naturally we got into that conversation. When you start having conversations with individuals and start asking them about their family, their occupation, their recreational ideas, right? Naturally, these conversations will occur. If you ask somebody, hey, what do you do? They're going to naturally tell you what they do.
Yeah.
Right. Vice versa. They're going to ask you, hey, what do you do? Right. So now, once we have that contact, we need to determine where they fall on the scale. Right. Are they somebody that's looking to make a transaction in the next 30 days? Because if they are, that's somebody that you would now put on a hot list. Right. These are the people that you're going to go back to on a weekly basis. Right. It's Sunday night. I finished doing my open houses. I just had my Sunday dinner. Now I'm going to sit down and I want to see for next week, who's on my hot list? Like, who can I put into a contract today?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Because we need to do that. We need to break it down, right? You might sit there and say, oh my God, I had a phenomenal contact.
I know. And then it's the follow-up game, and it's how to follow up properly and not just saying, oh, I was calling because you popped in my mind. What value? I mean, you got to follow up with that, exactly, with value. What do you bring to the table? How can you help that consumer? What's your value in this scenario? What do you do? How can you help getting them from point A to point B, from wanting a house to actually getting into that offer and making sure that offer gets accepted? I mean, it's like, again, working by design. I think a lot of real estate agents, and I'm going to tell it again, just throw shit at the fan, hoping it sticks. Sorry for my French, but it's like, let's work with a little bit more intention. You know, when I'm talking about working with passion, it's working more intention about your business, you know, like learning the craft, learning those skills. If you don't have it, find ways to learn it. Find people that can help you with learning the skills. You're not happy where you are, change up, find your guru.
Yeah. So you gotta go through the scripts, right? And the other thing that we were talking about the other day, guys, was you got the lead. Now what? Right? They're in contact, they're a lead, they go into your system. Now what? Now you got to figure out the value propositions. Now you got to touch on these individuals. More importantly, all right, there's a buyer's qualification script. So if you're working with a buyer, pull out the script. You don't know what to say, pull out the script, read the script. Chances are you're going to get all your answers in that script, right? Some of what I believe is crucial information is when you ask them what is their time frame, right?
You know which scripts is very easy and non-confrontational because it's not really a script. Use the LP Mama script, LP Mama, which stands for location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, appointment. Those are all the 6 different questions you should actually, ask that person. You can ask it with your own words, whatever. Nobody's telling you to speak a certain way. This is the most non-confrontational script, for buyers, and you can use it for sellers as well. If not, there are plenty of scripts out there. The fairy father son, the Kevin Wards, the what is it?
Everybody,
his name? Caruther, Chris Caruther. What's his name?
Ricky Caruth.
Ricky Caruth. What else? I mean, a whole bunch of people that have those scripts that do work. Use them, learn them. Actually, you should have a list of scripts you should be using. Again, we keep on talking about the same thing. You don't know what to say. Use a script. You don't know what to do. Find somebody who can help you. And I'm really serious about it. I'm seeing agents feeling helpless, where they have all that wealth of that circle, which is like a pool of deals and stuff just waiting to happen. Just like you have to activate those people. You have to activate them. Then you'll get the business. Like you have to talk. You don't have to be on the phone all day doing some cold calling. As you know, you can go, again, we're not advocating this. There are so many ways, but at least get in contact with somebody, turn them into a lead, turn them into an appointment. And even if it's a coffee appointment, to get to know the person and see where they at. Why not?
Yeah, I believe you have to figure out what their motivation is. You have to figure out, what their time frames are. Because quite frankly, I've heard it in the office many times, right? How many of us walk up to the water cooler, we're filling up our cup of water, bottle of water, and then here comes in this agent. And they're like, man, I'm struggling. It's tough. So-and-so happened. This happened. Like, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm showing these people. It's not so much that you're going to contact them and just start showing them everything and anything. It's just, again, you need to take these steps because you might find yourself wasting time, spinning circles. It happened to me. The first buyer that I thought was super overly qualified. Man, I met the guy in his house too. Like, I went to the guy's house. I spoke to him and I thought he was a solid dude. We saw a bunch of properties, but he didn't even qualify for a mortgage. Right? Like, I swore to God I was gonna make it happen for this guy, and then he didn't even qualify for a mortgage.
Yeah. And same thing with sellers. I think the sellers are like the big scary monster. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's the same thing. Buyers and sellers to me are the same things. You're just applying, for the job. That's a listing. That's a listing interview, whether it's a buyer or a seller. It's the same thing. Same thing. Yeah.
So you need to go through the qualification steps. All right. I know some of our brokerages, some of our team leaders, they'll say, pick up the phone. They want to see the property right now. Go see it. Go show it to them right now. Yep. Right. What else do you have?
It's a little bit more complicated than that, with the SOP and all that. So
it's in my opinion. Look, if you have nothing to do, and it's nearby, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? I'll tell you. The
Sure.
worst that can happen is that you figure out the type of property that's on the market, and then the worst that can happen is some other buyer will probably call you about the same property,
Right. Yeah.
and then you already know about it. So yeah, it benefits you, but at the
I
same
think when
time,
you're brand new, that's what I did. I didn't mind running around, and I wanted to get as busy as possible.
yeah,
So my thing was like, let me fill up my calendar. Let me go see those properties. It may look like I'm running around, but I'm really not running around because I'm previewing. Nobody does previews of properties nowadays. So why not do it with a buyer? Nobody does. And get into the habit of filling up your calendar. It's like I hate to see agents who had
What does that mean as far as filling up your calendar?
With appointments, with meeting people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
Right.
when you say that, see, the thing is, that's a lot of things that most people get confused. It doesn't necessarily need to be just customers, right? It could be
Of
vendors,
course.
right?
Yeah.
It could be just friends that you're meeting and talking about real estate. It could there's a broad version of when you're setting up those appointments, because when your leaders, your brokers, or whoever is saying, hey, fill up your appointments, fill up your appointment book, they think it's, oh, I need to fill it up with listings, or I need to fill it up with buyers. You fill it up with pretty much whatever helps you generate the income, right? Drive the income or drive the business, exactly what you said, in that sense. So when you're speaking to a buyer, that's great. You're showing buyers, boom. When you're presenting to a seller, boom, that's another appointment. When you're having the 30 days cups of coffee, a 5-minute coffee with a photographer.
That's an appointment. But guess what? Schedule the appointment with yourself when you're gonna go knock on doors, when you're gonna go see some friends, and just like do your rounds of mayor of the town. We always talk about that. Those are appointments. They should be scheduled in your calendar.
Yeah.
The time blocks you're gonna want to do to generate new business. That's an appointment to me. Because you're an appointment with yourself, you time blocking, you're putting in the calendar, I have 1 hour, I'm just going to be on hitting the phones. I want to call those expires. I prepared my list of expires in this area because that's my farm area. I haven't done it in a while. That's an appointment with myself to generate some business.
So out of devil's advocate, real quick, you don't consider that prospecting?
To what? Oh no, it's prospecting. It is prospecting, but it is an appointment with myself to do business because it's in my calendar.
That's the most controversial thing in the world.
I will. You know what? This is how I'm going to see it. I'm going to fill up my calendar with appointments with myself so I can generate business, and that is an appointment.
So I see where you're going with this. The whole. I think what you're hitting on right now is you're creating appointments with income-driven activities.
Yes.
Right? That's what it is. I'm creating appointments out of income-driven activities. What are income-driven activities? Prospecting, right? Cold calling, door knocking, touching on your sphere of influence, right? What's another income-driven activity? Touching back on your past clients, right?
Right. Why? Showing properties. Yes.
Showing properties, meeting with vendors,
open
because
houses,
you're trying to pull business out of this, right? The whole idea behind this is to book a meeting from a meeting, right? That should be your intent, period. Wherever you go, whoever you're meeting with, there should be another meeting set up right after that. So the acronym is BAM, right? The acronym for that is BAM, book a meeting.
BAM. Book a meeting,
right? You book a meeting and you keep booking meetings out of that. That's the whole concept of the idea. Now, again, to your point, Gigi, it could be that you're, prospecting. That's a meeting for you. That's fine. The whole key is that
it's my calendar. It's maybe I'm using the wrong English terms.
It's you're not using the wrong English terms.
I'm filling up with my calendar with their appointments. I don't even put them as tasks. I schedule them as appointments. In my calendar.
That's fine.
And I could do tasks, but I'm giving it a priority as an appointment.
Yeah.
Right. So 100%. I don't skip it. I don't allow myself to even skip it. It's an appointment.
Yeah.
Because if I put it as a task, then it's not a super priority. An appointment in my calendar is like I have to go. I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Look, however you could trick your brain into doing the activity.
Yeah.
Do
at
it.
the end of the day,
Doesn't matter.
I'm
right?
just giving ideas out there on, yeah, I'll fill up my appointment and my appointment. And I got this for a broker like 20 years ago. It got that's how we saw it. I'm like, that's a good idea. Like whatever generates business for me, whatever leads to uh like basically the dollar sign, I'll make sure it's in my calendar and I give it top priority. Because I've
Yeah,
seen in my task thing, it's on top and it's like never happening. Never.
yeah.
Day after day, it's like, oh crap, I gotta do that.
I get you. I agree with the whole calendar and booking your calendar out, and like I completely understand. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, like I said before, again, guys, in this case, we make contacts and we're trying to book appointments out of it. So
Yeah.
whoever the contact is, like Israel said, if you're out there meeting vendors, other business owners, right? The whole concept is to meet with these individuals and have a game plan in place. Keep in mind, you're in real estate. This isn't a 9 to 5. You're not getting paid on a weekly basis.
You're
You're not
not
getting
trading time
paid.
for money. Right. Right.
Exactly. What we're doing is we're farming, we're sowing seeds. We don't know where the crops are going to come. We don't know when they're going to come, but we do know that it's inevitable if we continue in the process. That's what it is. This is how you build any
Yeah, don't
business.
you think like going to have a cocktail with your friends, that's also to me, it should be you're gonna have fun, but you're also gonna be there, to I don't see any shame in that game of prospecting at that time and say to my friend,
No.
yo, okay, here you go. I mean, it's great we're having this glass of wine, and they're all gonna talk about their business just like you do at the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
So there is nothing wrong into making sure you're getting those referrals from your friends. There is nothing wrong with them, telling them this is what I'm doing. I'm like Israel would say, I'm trying to help 100 people into buying real estate this year. Can
Yeah.
you help me out? Why
Who do
not?
you know? Who do you know? That's your
Exactly.
challenge. I mean, you'll realize that once you start to include other people into these goals that you have, it
Mm-hmm.
starts to get a little bit easier. You'll notice that there's people that are actually cheering you on, that they want to see you reach the 100 people and help 100 people this year buy new homes. You know what I mean? Like it's inevitable. Like it's just and it ties back into like what I've said in the past was you got to speak these things into existence, right? If you're sitting in the office complaining about that one buyer that you took out 10 times and it's like
20
they still don't
times.
want to make an offer. I remember hearing in the offer, right? Linda Tran, she would take
Oh, we're
out
always
buyers.
throwing out that name. Yeah, I know.
She would take out a buyer and literally indicate to them that
Yeah.
after seeing 3 different properties, they have to
Yes,
make an offer
yes.
on one
And
of them.
that's super smart. Yeah.
Like,
Because she
how crazy
qualified
is
them
that?
anyway. She got them the
Exactly.
best prop. Yeah, yeah.
So think about that. The next time you're out with the buyer, ask yourself that question. How thoroughly did I qualify this individual? Did I just pick up the call and say, okay, fine, I'm there because I was available? Or did I
Yep.
actually say, hey, you know what? Let's set aside a time, right? Let's have let's have a buyer's consultation meeting. Let's have that conversation. Let's see what you're looking for. Let's see what your motivation is. Why do you want to
Correct.
buy? When do you want to buy? Do you have to sell before you buy? Right? Like these are all the questions that we have to go through because one thing's for certain, and I'll tell you it like this. If I'm talking to somebody and I say, hey, what's your time frame to purchase? Are you looking to buy something in the next 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? What is your time frame? And their answer to me is when I find the right property for the good price, I'm going to jump on that. Right? How would you even answer? How would you respond to that? Some people would actually sit there and say, "Oh, okay, great. Next question." Right? Same thing. All right, cool, fine. I'll let you know. Yeah, definitely. I'll find the right place. No, that for
No.
me, that's not an answer. There's no time frame, right? When they talk about making goals, what do they tell you?
Yeah.
Put a definite date on it. If
Yes.
they're not putting a definite date on it,
You're wasting your
it's up
time.
in the air. It's not something that they're trying to do right
They're
away.
wasting their time. They're wasting your
They're
time.
wasting
Yeah.
everybody's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So if you get that answer, or if some people want to call it an objection, but if you get that response,
You know what? There was.
How would you answer it?
You remember?
hold up, Gigi, hold up, real quick. How would I answer it? This is the way I would go about it. Oh, you're looking for the right property, for the right price, for the right. Okay, cool. What would you say is what is the right property for you?
Exactly.
Right? What is the right price for you? What are you looking for? Oh, I'm looking for a house. Great. Where? In Jamaica Estates. Fantastic. Right? What's your budget? Oh, if I find one for the right price, okay, $1 million. No, that's too high. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Now you're getting to the nitty gritty. Right.
Okay, so $1 million is too much for you.
You remember the ideas that Coach Michael Burt was bringing, like as far as being a challenger, and basically challenge the premises of anybody to make things move, activate that lead, challenge a little. I think there is nothing wrong in being a challenger. I think the top 1% of all real estate agents are challenger, without being disrespectful and aggressive. But you just have to, if you don't shake up your buyer, your seller, into having them to reconsider sometimes their plan, then nothing moves. Nothing moves.
You got to shake them.
Absolutely.
You got to grab them by the neck, and you just got
every time. I mean, especially when they say I'm looking for a great house like that. I mean, my answer is
what is a great house, bro? Like.
I mean, I actually answer the way I answer is just what does that look like? Tell me about your dream home. Well, tell me about what you're looking for. I mean, there's millions of homes, and I'm sure I'm not going to show you millions. So tell me what you're looking for, and then tell me how soon how soon are you looking to move, so on and so forth. And I get exactly what you say. It's like I get into the nitty gritty. I mean, one of my favorite questions is when I ask them, what are you looking for? The first thing they always answer is they give me the exterior of the house, not the interior. I'm looking for something close to the train. I want parking. I want this. I want that. What about the inside? You're going to be living there for 8 hours. It's like, what are you doing there? So I love that.
You need to get them in a point where they're actually talking about it, right? How hard is it for you to, and if you think about it on yourself, this is the way you got to look at it. Again, yes, we're in real estate. Yes, our product is properties, but at the end of the day, we're dealing with people. If you figure out how to work with the person, you'll get them the property.
If you can make that lead, that prospect, to envision them working with you, like if they sort of envision that, because you're giving them the picture, and sometimes they could be even mistaken in what they're looking for. They're giving you like this castle. I did suggest to some of agents to have those people that were not very reasonable in their searches, show them exactly what they're looking for. Show them exactly what they're looking for, and let's open them up to reality. This, what you're looking for, is way above your budget. So you wanted this, let me show you this. That's $1.4 million.
Goes back to that show.
You qualified for 800.
Absolutely.
Can you make it? Can we make it happen? Yes, no, okay. Let's figure out something else.
You got to bring them back to earth on that.
Absolutely. And when it comes to appointments, I mean, I agree with everything that we're saying here. One of the things I try to make sure is that I want them to know why they should work with me, what kind of experience they're going to get out of it. Because I feel, honestly, it's like you're dating somebody and they're dating some other people too. You want to make sure that you're the number one person that they're going to be with. You're the one.
But guess what? I like exclusivity. I'm not dating multiple people. I'm not getting diseases. I'm not doing that. So same in real estate. I'm not multiple dating.
Right.
You got to be committed to me. I'll be committed to you. I'll go the distance.
Absolutely. Whatever
the outcome is, I'll go the distance. And that's the type of relationship I want in my personal life.
Which is, in this case, is loyalty.
In the business.
That's exactly right. And that's what you're looking for. You want somebody who's going to be loyal to you at the end of the day, right?
Commitment.
So, with that being said as well, when you're actually out there, right? When you're out there, we'll get you a key ring on that. When you're out there, and it goes to that point of you're being that agent that actually showing 20, 30, 40 houses, you got to find out a cutoff point to the sense of, I need to audit this list again. I needed to audit your search again. I need to audit what we're going for. Going back to the consultation. You do one consultation, you're up to number 2 now. Once you get to number 3, are they in fantasy land or reality? Which one are we at right now? And these are the things you have to go to when you're at appointments. Whether you show 10 in one day or 3 in one day, you have to make sure that you're asking more questions about what they're looking for while you're in that appointment too. What did you think about this kitchen? What do you feel like? What did you like about this bathroom? How do you, is this bedroom big enough for your bedroom? So on and so forth. Can you envision? What do you, how would you redesign this living room? How would you redesign this kitchen if you need to? So on and so forth. Can you smell the food that you can cook here? Instead of calling it a kitchen,
I think a lot of agents, and you're absolutely right, Israel, don't work on what type of experience am I giving the person I'm going to be working with, the consumer? What type of because I want that experience to be good at the time they work with me. And also my aim is to have that post-transaction, like for them thinking back of the experience they had with me, so they want to help me getting more business. Either it's going to be repeat business or referral business. So you have to think of your consumer as, what experience am I going to give them? What kind of Yelp review am I going to get?
Exactly.
It's basically that. It's all about the consumer's experience, because this is how basically the world is working right now. And you have to really pay attention to that.
And honestly, to get them from the appointments to the dollars, don't be scared to ask the questions. Like Israel said, what do you like about the home? Can you see yourself living here? I like to ask, I like to keep it simple, right? I like to ask 3 questions. I said it before. Number 1 is, what did you like most about the home? Right? Oh, I like this, I like that. Okay, great. What did you like least about the home?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like this, or I didn't like the other. Okay. Well, with that being said, would you like to make an offer?
And that's the sweet pie close from Michael Burt. That's the
way I
soft
do it.
close. That's very nice. If that works for you, and you should be closing once you get them exactly what they want, and their must-have list is pretty much a lot fuller than the dislike list. Let's go for an offer. And you're right. And you've been challenging those premises again, and it's fantastic. Yeah.
With every appointment, it's the same way, and I agree with the way I actually do it is I actually use numbers in that sense. Is, hey, if you were to rate this, and I do this with every showing that we do. One person, if we're doing 3, I'm doing the same exact questions every single time. How would you rate this from a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh no.
That's cool.
Oh, Gigi,
Okay. How would you rate this from a scale of 1 to 10? Right? And when you rate this between 1 to 10, they'll tell you, I rate this a 7, I rate this a 6, I rate this an 8. What does it need for it to be a 8? What does it need to be for a 9? What is it missing for it to be a higher number? Once you get to that number, they'll tell you it's a bigger kitchen. All right, well then, I need to fix a bathroom. Well, in that case, how much is it worth to you? And if they tell you, oh, I think it's worth an extra 10,000, then why don't we just put an offer, at 10,000 and see how the owner. And that what I'm doing is I'm asking them not only how they're looking at the home, I'm actually trying to figure out what kind of home they're looking for, checking out their motivation, and seeing if we put an offer in today, if they're ready to move forward with this unit. And that's a really short way for me to do that. So
that's playing chess, man. That's playing chess. You know why? Because too many people have this impression that it's such an easier, simple thing to do. No, you got to put some brain matter behind this, right?
Absolutely.
Like at the end of the day, why do I want to work with an agent? Because my thought process is that person knows the industry and they're a negotiator, right?
Yep.
So if you're negotiating, that's the conversation you can have, right? What is it going to take? Oh, well, I don't know if I should make an offer because the property needs this. Okay. So what if we made a better offer? Like where would you feel comfortable making an offer knowing that these issues are still there, but they're not major issues? They can easily be repaired. They can be amended, whatever the case is.
Or credited, yeah.
Or to the other point that Gigi had mentioned too was if the pros outweigh the cons, then why wouldn't you want to jump on it, right? Like, oh, it's a little outdated, but the structure is great. Everything looks solid. You know what I mean? You can change things on the inside. You can tweak it to your liking. Hey, you know what? Maybe we can get a better deal knowing that it's not newly renovated. You know what I mean? Like, let's try to negotiate. Like, what would be your max price? Like, if you were to come to me and say, Ed, and this is why I always do this format, is because I like to put it in their mind that I'm the one they're going to be thinking about when they're coming out of real estate. So it's like, if you can come to me and say, hey, Ed, listen, I really like this place, but I don't like this, that, and a third. You know, maybe we can submit a better offer. What would you say that number is in your mind? Like, what would be your max? Right? Like, and I'm not paying more than this. This is the most that I'm going to pay, but I'm not paying more than that. Right? But guess what? You know what you're also doing in that aspect? And this is something that people don't realize is sometimes as a buyer's agent, we get pissed off because of the commission the listing agent is giving out.
That's another topic.
That's a completely
different topic. Okay, let's not even go there.
I think I wanted to say
all right, hold up. Hold up. I'll finish it off real quick. But the thing is that how many of us are pissed off at, oh my God, this damn listing agent giving out 0.5% commission?
Why don't you look at your comments on Instagram? Come on, Ed. Look, I've been. I'm like, I am advocating for you to get you some views right here.
Look at this. Look at what's taking place here. I got my little light up here. I got Israel and Gigi on the screen. I'm trying to figure this out. Here we go.
Yeah, I know.
But
yes. You know, there is a 5-second delay, which is kind of crazy.
Whatever. But you know what though? Easy fix. If you sit there and talk to your buyer and say, hey, look, what's the max you're gonna pay for this property? And they give you that number. And you know that it's basically within reason. Like there's been moments where I've been sitting with the buyer and I'm asking them this question and they're willing to pay full ask. They're willing to pay over ask, right? But now if you're smart and you're keeping you're keeping the industry probed, I'm going to say, and you know what's going on, then guess what? That's an ability for you to try to negotiate. I can't tell you how many times I put in offers negotiating my commission with that offer. Because I know how high the buyer's willing to pay.
You know what, guys? I know we're going to run out of time and I don't want to go past the hours. Let's talk about those offers where let's talk about offers and different ways of structuring them. I think this would be like a fantastic topic for everybody out there, whether you're an agent, brand new, seasoned, need to refresh a little bit of what you know. And if you're a buyer out there, to see what the options are for you. And if you're a seller or considering about, selling real estate and want to know how the behind the scene of how we work on those offers.
That could be another episode.
Would be a great episode.
Yeah, right? I think it would be definitely another episode we could do with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But in summary to all that, I mean, honestly, to summarize what we're saying today is this. Honestly, you're always out there, just pretty much putting yourself out there for those who are renting, buying, and selling. Okay. And your sellers are always buyers and your buyers are always sellers.
Yeah. And then you have people that the renters are going to be buyers.
Your renters are going to be buyers, right?
The landlord might be sellers.
Exactly. Or they could be buyers as well.
You guys are talking about everything that's happening to me right now.
I know, but this is what life is. Everybody lives somewhere.
Life. That's what our life is all about.
Unless you live under a bridge. No, actually, it's so wrong because you're going to want to be a renter or you're going to want to be a buyer. So anybody is going to have a need for housing. That's a basic survival.
So hence, with that being said, you have to make sure to contact every single person. You are not advertising to homeless. You're advertising to folks who are buying and renting, those who have shelter, those who have, something to pay for, those who are your renters, those are your sellers, those are your buyers, those are your landlords. Just go out there and reach out to those folks, because honestly, the more you have, the easier it will be. Remember, the one thing that, Gigi has mentioned in his one coach, Coach Berg, today a couple of times. One thing that actually fell into my mind a lot is this. It's not about how much money or contracts you get. It's the amount of contacts that you have.
It's not money. It's not how much money you need. It's how many people you can reach.
That's it. Think about it that way.
You don't need money. You need more people. That's it.
You need more people. And the only way you could do that is by saying hello, hi, or use your own language.
Yes.
Hola, in my language.
And make sure you understand the language of your prospects, of your leads, of your contacts. This is it. I know.
Just say hello. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
There's so much. There's so much that we need, and it's gonna take to get the job done, and we have so few time to explain.
I actually think we didn't even hit the icing into the cake there. With that.
Hell no, man.
But you know what?
There's so much to it, though. Think about it, guys. Like, there's so much to it. Like, we're dealing with emotional creatures, right? How do you deal with emotion? There's people out there that can't even deal with their own spouse, let alone a bunch of other people, right? So that's what we got to think about. You need to sit down, and again, honestly, where I would probably just leave a golden nugget is we need to understand who we are as people, what our personalities are, okay? And then once we know that, we can go out there and communicate with individuals and understand them. Not just listen to them for the stuff that they're saying, but hear them out, process the information. There's a place where all this stuff is coming.
You said something. Hear them out is even listen. Active listening. And this is where most agents have those huge egos. Sorry, guys. And they just listen to themselves. No. Listen to your contacts. Listen to your lead. Listen. Actively listen. Don't wait to speak, but listen.
And if you think that's not happening to you, record your next conversation with the buyer or seller and see how that goes. Matter of fact, record the next conversation you have when it's a buyer's consultation or a seller's consultation, and then see who's doing the most talking. Because at the end of the day, I know we feel that we know everything and we're better than the other agent, but what does that matter if the person you're speaking to, like, what does that matter if there's zero value proposition coming out of your mouth? They've already shut you out. They're just waiting for you to finish.
That's another topic, value proposition. That's a lot of
Gigi. We're coming out with golden chicken nuggets out here.
I know, but that's a huge confusion topic as well for real estate agents. So we're gonna bring you guys a lot of things that are so important in our business for every single, for you buyers, for you sellers, for you agents.
Absolutely.
I think everybody needs to understand a lot of those notions. So guys, I think I don't want to go over time. I don't want to over chew that that bite of meat right there and that golden chicken nugget. I don't want to over chew this, but we can wrap up. And guys, please, I'm seeing everybody being shy. Reach out to us. Tell us what you want to talk about. Like right now, I'm seeing few topics that we can actually expand on future shows. Before
we just run out of here, I actually like what Victor said. All right.
Let's highlight Victor's things. Yes.
When Victor started real estate, which I don't know when that is, clearly he's much older than I am, but fine. He started real estate. It was amazing how all agents and brokers cooperated, right? Yes. I've said this in the past before, where it's like we're all a part of an organization, right? The National Association of Realtors. We should be treating each other more like brothers and sisters, not like frenemies, right?
Kumbaya.
But check it out. I said it right here too. Now it's different. Everyone became Rambo and not the Three Musketeers.
And you have the Three Musketeers right there. Usually there are 4 Musketeers in the Three Musketeers, but yes. That's us, guys. I think it's almost top of the hour.
It is. So what I would say is, just to leave everybody with this real quick, guys, we're all working together towards a common goal, right? Yes. Unless you have a contractual agreement with your buyer, keep in mind that you're always working as the broker's agent. So you want to work with the listing agent as best as possible to get the job done. We're all trying to get the job done. And guess what? As an agent, I enjoy when somebody else comes to me and we're having that common ground and we're having that conversation, and I can tell that they too are just trying to get the job done. So let's make it happen. I love that.
Okay, guys. MVP of today. Oh my, the office is getting busy right now. Oh my goodness. Damn. MVP of the day. Again, 3 weeks in a row.
Who is this guy? And what does he do? So shout out to Victor. Appreciate your ears. Appreciate your funny
Yeah.
comments and your time.
No problem. All right, guys.
Absolutely.
And enjoy your weekend. Don't forget to visit open houses. And if you're an
You guys
agent,
doing
you
open
don't
houses
have
this
an open house, visit other people's open houses. You'll get to know your market a lot better this way. I have 3 open houses this weekend that I'll be running with Francine. Woo! All
I'm
right.
doing a lot of showings this weekend.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to be in Howard Beach, Kew Gardens, East Elmhurst,
Yeah.
Bronx, Flushing.
Oh, you're all over the place. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide. I'm actually, I got private showings on Saturday. I'll probably be all over Forest Hills, and then Sunday I do have 3 open houses.
Oh, yeah, I got Forest Hills too.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. All
So
right, guys.
East Elmhurst, Oceanside. So if you're out there, stop on by, say hello, give me a hug.
Adios.
High five. I like Reese's peanut butter cups too.
All right, guys. Enjoy
All
the
right.
weekend.
Take care,
Have a good one,
everybody.
everyone.
Peace.
All right. I
Bye.
know.